Good morning, Summit Durango. I'm glad I can join you on this Monday morning. We're switching things up. So hopefully you've been reading your email and reading our newsletter, but we are doing something different. We are going to be doing 9 a.m. only devotionals. And so you will see me every Monday still, but at 9 a.m. instead of at noon. And we're going to be following along with the med moments that are handed out, given out by whoever is preaching at the Sunday previously. So this past weekend, it was different. So it's a little bit windy out here, so bear with me. But I wanted to, first of all, my name is Celia Rothis, for those of you that do not know me. I'm the Director of Children and Family Ministries at Summit Church in Durango, Colorado. And so I get to do all the fun things with the kids while everyone else gets to be real adults. And I love it. But I'm so glad you guys could all join me. And if you have any questions or comments, you can always put those in the comment section and we'll make sure to get back to you. Hopefully it'll be me personally, but it may be someone else as well. And so let's go ahead and get started. This week we are talking about being lights, shedding off our heavy burdens and really focusing on turning towards Jesus and in times of trouble. And so our memory verse for this week is Matthew 11:28. And this version says, "Come to me, all you who are struggling hard and carrying heavy loads, and I will give you rest." I think that speaks so true for all of us in this moment, in this day and age right now. We are heavy burdened. We are laden with all of these to-dos, all of these changing new things that are happening and what to do and what we can't do. And we're still figuring that out. And we are in unrest. People are fearful. They are upset and angry and harboring all of this. And it creates a lot of ugliness. It creates a lot of tension and ill will towards other people, which we don't want. We don't want that. In the verse that I grew up memorizing, it says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden." And I love that those word choices, because weary just seems to have a different ring to it. It seems like weary is where all of your limbs are dragging. Like you can't look up. You're tired to the very core of who you are. And then heavy laden, you think of animals who are carrying these burdens and can carry really strong amounts. But it is incredible loads, but they're still heavy laden. And I think of, okay, if I'm going backpacking or something and I have my big backpack, I got to make sure that the weight is okay, because if it's too heavy, boy, am I going to be hurting later. And so, you guys probably share similar experiences, but I'm going to read to you guys Matthew chapter 4, verses 17 through 24. And that's our verses for today. And each day you will get new verses and we'll read those together. And it will be a different staff member who will be doing these videos each day. So you still get to see our lovely faces. All right. So this is, again, Matthew chapter 4, verses 17 through 24. "From that time, Jesus began to preach and to say, 'Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.'" Other versions of this verse also say to turn around, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I love that, because how often, and right now I'm actually facing away from the sun, how often are we walking in one direction and we have to change our perspective? We have to say, oh, I'm in this situation right now. I'm having a hard time. But if I look at things a different way, if I change my body, if I turn around and I look up at the sun, how much light is coming, how much joy and warmth is coming. And so it's all about that perspective change. So let's read it again in that light. So from that time, Jesus began to preach and to say, turn around, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the kingdom of heaven, is that now? Is that tomorrow? Is that in the future? You know, we've always talked about it being, sorry, that was a pop-up on my computer and I couldn't see you. we always talk about, this future, the kingdom, will be there. Well, why can't it be now? Why can't we be children of God in today's world in his kingdom? And so it's a present tense thing. It goes on to say in verse 18, and Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brothers, Simon, called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Then he said to them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in the boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. He called them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. And Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing all kinds of sickness and all kinds of disease among the people. Then his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought to him all sick people who were afflicted with various diseases and torments, and those who were demon-possessed, epileptics, and paralytics, and he healed them. Those verses bring us, hopefully, some hope. We can turn and say, oh my goodness, God is present. Sorry, my pages are fluttering everywhere. My first time being outside, and what a day to pick. But these passages bring us hope. They show us that the kingdom is now. We can be active participants in the kingdom. We can be light bringers, hence the title of this video. A couple days ago, actually on Saturday, one of my younger sisters got married, and she married this wonderful man. It was a beautiful day, and we had just a few people around, close family and some friends. But she got married in our backyard because, other things were closed. She wasn't permitted to use the chapel on her campus and other things. And so there was a lot of heartache in that. There was a lot of failed plans and failed attempts at things during this time. But we were able to have a wedding here in our backyard in this beautiful place. And all of us sisters were talking about how my mom has worked so hard. She's planted so many things to make this this little oasis, this little safe haven of our backyard. And you've probably been able to hear, but we live on a very busy corner. So cars are coming from both sides and surrounded by our house. And so we oftentimes get really loud motorcycles and people who are listening to music and jamming out. But when there aren't any cars, when it's just quiet, you can hear the birds chirping in the woods. You can feel the sun rays on your face. You can smell the flowers. You can see the bees buzzing. And this is only a snapshot of what heaven can be and what heaven is. And so we find joy in those things. And I'm sure a lot of you go on hikes. You find joy in the wilderness. You find joy in the mountainsides. And that's where we kind of get replenished. We feel God fully and more alive, I guess, than in the hustle and bustle, at least for me. That's not for everyone. Some people are city people. I am not. But it was an absolutely beautiful wedding. And it started this turnaround. All of us sisters are dispersing. She was the first one to leave with her husband, and they're going on a honeymoon. And then actually today I've packed up my car, and in an hour I'm going to be leaving my home that I've been here for 2 months. And my sister and I are driving down to Nashville, and I'm helping her pack up her place. And then I'm driving back to Durango. And so there's a lot of travel. And in this passage, while I am not going to equate myself to any of Jesus's disciples, I think we are called to be disciples of Jesus. I think we are called to go forth and to share Jesus Christ with the world, to say he is alive, he loves you, and let me share him with you. Let me show you who he is. And one of the things I love, and we've had our weeping moments, it's a very joyful time for one of our sisters to get married, but she's the first one. And so there's a little bit of sadness of our family unit is no longer what it was. It's been this way for, well, my oldest sister is 30. So it's been since, she was little. We've had sister after sister and come together. And so it's a little bit sad. It's a little bit bittersweet. But I was talking to my other sister, whose name is Lucia, and we were talking and we said, wait a second. Not only were we wearing bright yellow dresses for the wedding, and everyone kept saying we were rays of sunshine, which I loved and ate that up. Her name, Lucia, also means light bringer. And we just had to pause for a second and say, we got to share our home with his family, with our sisters, well, my brother-in-law, with his family. We got to share Christ with them. Not that they didn't already know, they know Jesus, but it's a testament of our lives that we live to be able to walk forward and say, God is with us. And God is with us in the beautiful moments, like 2 days ago at the wedding. But God is also with us in the hardships, in the times where we fall and we scrape our knees, and we struggle to get back up, and we struggle to have that strong faith. I don't know about you, but I'm not always strong in my faith. I question things. I get upset. I feel disheartened and angry when I hear about the riots and everything else. And I say, where are you, God? But the thing is, the moment you say, God, you can't handle that, is the moment that he's not right there with you, or he is, but you don't see him. And so we can turn around, remember in that verse, turn around, for the kingdom of God is present. Turn around, change your perspective, and he is there. And so our family activity this week is, I wanted you all to get a cardboard box. And ultimately what you're going to do is just destroy this box. I took a pair of scissors. I ripped this box up. You can kind of see it. It just has like completely fallen apart. I don't know if you can tell all those holes. But have fun. Kids, get crazy. Stomp on it. Smash it. Do all these things. The reason we're doing this is because this is life. This is hardship. Life is not perfect. You don't get this beautiful box and it's pristine forever. You falter. You have things that trip you up in your life. You have questions and concerns and sicknesses and illnesses and all of these things that are just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And that's what this box is. This box is a representative of my life and all of my sins, all of my shortcomings, all of the things that I don't trust God with, that I cling to and I am heavy burdened with. But what I love is that you can hold then this box up to the sun. Well, my sun has now disappeared, but it's okay because I have big trees behind me. And you can't see this, but the light is pouring through all of these holes, all of these shortcomings, all of these failures of mine. God says, I'm here. I've been with you the whole time. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. What does that feel like to be restful in the Lord? What does that feel like to know him to your core, to your very heart? I don't know about you, but it brings tears to my eyes because, gosh, don't we all crave that? Don't we crave that in this world, in this time? We need him. We need him. And if we need him, then others need him. So I challenge you all to be light bringers, to tell others of Jesus's love and the good news that he is alive, that the kingdom is now, and we can share that with people. I am praying for you all. I love you all. And I just can't wait to be with you all again in person. And I know someday. So thank you and take care and be light bringers for the Lord.